If you want to rank your asphalt or dirt work business higher in Google Maps, you already know you need backlinks. The problem is finding them usually takes hours of manual research that you simply don't have. And on top of that, you don't know if the backlinks are any good. So today, I'm going to show you the 5 specific types of links that actually build authority for dirt work contractors. The ones that we actually use in our agency with all of our partners. And here's the best part. If you stick around until the very end, I'm going to show you the specific ChatGPT prompt that automates this whole process. You copy and paste it, and it finds the link opportunities for you in your city. Stop guessing and stop buying cheap links. Here is how you do it the right way. At the most basic level, a backlink is simple. It's just another website linking to your website. And Google doesn't treat all backlinks the same. A random website on the other side of the world linking to you, that means almost nothing. But a local website, a community organization, or a trusted business in your area linking to you, that tells Google something very important. This business is real, this business is trusted, and this business actually operates in this local market. That's what moves rankings, especially on Google Maps. Google's job is very simple. When someone searches for a contractor, Google wants to show the business it trusts the most to satisfy that customer's needs. Backlinks are one of the ways Google measures that trust. If local organizations, local businesses, and local websites are willing to mention you and link to you, Google sees that as proof you're established and trustworthy in your community. And for competitive cities, that trust is often the difference between being on page 1 and being completely invisible. So now let's talk about what not to do. The biggest mistake I see is contractors buying cheap links online. If you've ever seen offers like 500 backlinks for $10, please run immediately and do not do it. Those links come from fake websites, irrelevant blogs, or straight up spam networks. And one of the worst mistakes, getting backlinks from websites that have nothing to do with your industry or your location. If you're a dirt work contractor or asphalt contractor and your site is suddenly getting links from random gambling websites or crypto sites, Google knows something is off. So how do you do this the right way? Let me walk you through the exact mindset we use and the 5 types of links we go after every single time. And remember, if you stick around until the end, I'll give you the exact ChatGPT prompt that we use to completely automate the searching process. Let's get started. All right, so you all should be familiar with the Google search area. So when someone types into Google, let's just say demolition contractor San Diego, Google has to decide who shows up first here in the Google Maps. So Google isn't looking at who does good work, it's looking at who it trusts in this local market. So backlinks are one of the ways Google measures that trust. And so these guys, they are able to get into the Google Map hack somehow. They didn't end up here by accident. Google Maps rewards businesses that look established, that look trusted, and are connected in their community. So backlinks are one of those background signals working behind the scenes. So first step is to see if your Google business profile, if it even needs backlinks. So there's usually 3 steps to ranking a Google business profile. One is building trust with Google that you are actually a local business in the area. 2 is building topical relevance. And then 3 is building geographical relevance. So step 1 is always to build trust with Google. And you are able to find that by running a heat map. So I'm sure you've seen these before. This is a heat map. So what it does is it takes a business and then we run this heat map for a specific key term. So for this one, it's demolition contractor Round Rock. And then what this tool does is it shows us a heat map. And this heat map it shows when a customer is in this specific area and they type in this specific key term in Google, where does this specific business show up in the Google Maps rankings? And we're only looking at Google Maps because, again, that's where 70% of the online traffic goes. So if someone types in demolition contractor San Diego, 70% of the customers are going to find a business they want to work with here in the map pack. You know, the other 30% could be the sponsored, could be down here in organic, and then I'm sure you've seen local AI in Google. That's starting to take over. I don't think it's anything important in the short term or even in the next 5 years. Maybe 20 years from now, 10 years, but Google Maps is still the #1 source, so let's just focus on that. So again, if your heat map is showing anything, well, let's do the best. If your heat map is showing something like this means Google trusts you. This means Google thinks that you have topical relevance in whatever category the the customer is searching, and it also believes that you can service them in the specific geographical area. So if you're looking like this, you really just should be focusing on reviews and getting more customers in. So as we start to go down, a heat map like this would tell me that Google still doesn't trust your business or the business that we're looking at. And then even if we go farther down and farther down, this just shows that Google doesn't trust that you are a local business in this area. It doesn't trust that whatever category or key term, demolition contractor, it doesn't trust that you're a demolition contractor, and it doesn't trust that you can do it in the Round Rock area. So this is where building backlinks is the best, because backlinks will prove to Google that, hey, I am a trusted business in this local area. So what not to do. Do not go to Fiverr, or I'm sure you get plenty of emails every single day that say, hey, I can build you backlinks, $100 or even $30 for 100 backlinks. This one is, 50 silver backlinks for $20. If you find something like this, don't even entertain it, because a lot of the times they're just spam links and they may have a high, DA, but if it's from a business completely across, or a website completely across the globe, who cares? It has zero relevance to you, so do not do it. So a good way to start, if you are in a local area, and let's just say again, we're doing demolition contractor San Diego, a good way to start is to see what type of backlinks your competitor has. So these guys are obviously ranking in the top 3 for a reason when we type in demolition contractor San Diego. So they're doing something right. So one of the ways to see what kind of backlinks they have is to take their website, and then you're going to put it into a tool like this. So we use Search Atlas, but you can use SEMrush or Ahrefs. And it will show you what this business has for their backlinks. So I typed in a business, Philly Strong Demolition. So it's a Philadelphia-based demolition company. And then if we scroll down, so we're going to come in the backlinks area. I won't get into depth with it. This is not what this is about, but what it does is it shows what type of backlinks this business has. So if we click onto here, and it will show us opportunities that we can also get. If we're local to this business. So let's say we are in Philadelphia, let's say we are a demolition business, let's say this guy is our competitor, then we can find his backlinks and we can reach out to this one. So this looks like a random blog. So we can actually, maybe join it, and we can reach out and say, hey, can we also write an article and, get it published? Let's see if there's another one right up halfway. This looks like another blog. We can reach out to this website, and we can also ask them if we can publish an article onto their website. Again, if these guys are ranking 1, 2, and 3 in the Google Maps, they're doing something right, and Google trusts them. So whatever backlinks they have, it's working. So let's start there and try to find the backlinks that is ranking their business. All right, so that's step 1. Let's find the backlinks that the other top 3 guys have. So once we do that, then we can start doing backlinks for ourselves. So again, there's 5 different types of backlinks. The first one is going to be the local chamber of commerce. This is probably going to be our absolute favorite. It's going to be the most trusted. It's a perfect example of a high quality local backlink. It's trusted, it's location based. So again, this is Philadelphia. So if you work in Philadelphia, it's going to be super specific to your area, and it proves that you actually operate in this community. A lot of the times you can't get into the Chamber of Commerce if, let's say I'm in California, I can't get into the Chamber of Commerce of Philadelphia because I'm not local. And so it's going to prove to Google, hey, these guys are actually local to Philadelphia. And if you also serve nearby cities, let's say 5 miles north, 10 miles south, you should be checking those chambers also. So for an area here in Philadelphia, I'm pretty sure that they have, let's just type in, so here's the one that we just looked at, and then let's just say Philadelphia, Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce, Philadelphia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So these are all fantastic backlinks. They're going to be the most expensive. A lot of the Chamber of Commerce are going to cost anywhere between $300 and $700 for the whole year. Well worth it, especially if you're in a competitive area. 9 times out of 10, your competitors are going to have these links, so you need them also. If you're in a smaller area, a lot of the times just having one Chamber of Commerce link, so spending that $500 on a Chamber of Commerce link, a lot of times that's enough to get you ranked in the top 3 because it's such a high quality, high authority link. Google is going to trust you instantly, and it's going to push you into that top 3 map pack, because in the smaller cities, a lot of the times your competitors don't have a Chamber of Commerce link. So this is one of our absolute favorite. And if we ever take on a new customer, this is what we do first automatically. Next are going to be directories. So you probably already know these. It's going to be, Yelp, Angie Leads, Home Advisor, Nextdoor. So these are going to be directories that you should get into. I'm not saying get into them for lead purposes, because we don't like to pay for leads from these areas. They're shared leads. I'm sure you've done it before. You pay $100 for a lead. Angie Lead sends that to 5 different guys. They collect $500. Only one guy closes the deal. The other 4 guys are screwed. It's the worst way to do lead gen, I believe. But anyways, so you don't need to pay for the model, but they do allow you to get your business onto their directory site. So these backlinks will help confirm that your business is real, established, and local, especially Yelp, and especially Yelp for AI purposes. But again, that's a different video. So get your business listed on Yelp, get it listed on Angie Leads. Home Advisor is another one, and then Nextdoor. I would say Nextdoor is probably the best out of all these directories, because that's like really hyper local. And you can also find leads on Nextdoor, because there is like there's a community post that you can put up your business and say, hey, I live in the Philadelphia area, we do demolition, reach out to us. So, but again, these directories are fantastic to, again, prove to Google that you are a legitimate company. And make sure every time you are getting your company listed in these directories, make sure that your name, address, phone number, and website are all the same across every single directory. So next is going to be local news outlets. So local news backlinks carry a lot of weight because Google trusts local media. One good local article can be more powerful than dozens of those junk links. This is where expert tips, safety articles, or local insights work extremely well. So again, if you come into here and let's just try to find where you can look special, advertise with us. Here we go. So advertise with us. You can let them know, hey, request a media kit, or hey, I am, maybe even if you're offering a job, this is a great way just to get a local high authority backlink to your business. And even if you want to post an article. So, get in touch with them. Again, I'm going to assume it's going to be pretty expensive, but again, one backlink like this for $300, $400 is way more important and can move the needle on ranking your Google business profile. Next are going to be realtors and community sites. So a lot of the times, a lot of the demo guys that we work with, they have contacts in real estate, because a lot of times those real estate agents will, buy a house, maybe it needs to be demoed, or maybe there's a shed that needs to be demoed. So a lot of times you already have these connections. So having this connection is great, but being able to have your website or get a backlink from a local realtor is huge. A lot of these times, these realtors have been in business for many, many years. Google sees them as a trusted authority. So if you're able to come into, and sometimes they don't have this, but sometimes they do. So like here's a referral network with these, or for this real estate agent. So these guys, what you do is you actually just type in like what you need and they will refer you someone. But what you can do, let's say you have a really good relationship with these guys, or if you're willing to pay for it, you can say, hey, maybe you just make a category for dirt work contractor or demolition contractor instead of concrete or attorney. Put it on your website and just have a link to us. We'll pay you $300, $500 a year for it. A lot of these times, these guys will say yes, especially if you already have a relationship with them. So this is old school relationships combined with online trust, and Google will absolutely love that. Finally, we are going to get into local sponsorships and local events. This probably is where you're going to find majority of your opportunities, because there's just so many community events that are happening, especially nowadays. So local 5K or local fun runs or chili cook-offs or TEDx events that are happening in your city, or even educational events that are happening, fairs that are happening. So any of these that are happening local, a lot of the times they're going to ask for sponsorships. So how to get sponsors. So local 5K sponsor. So how to get, this is telling them how to do it. our local sponsors and national partners. So here's where you can support us, right? Be a partner in this local 5K run, become a partner. Again, hyper local, and is going to show Google that you are trusted in your community, especially if they, so these would all be considered backlinks. And the good news is too, it works for Google, and it's also going to work in your local community. So let's just say there are people that search, or a lot of times for these events, there's going to be a banner that says, hey, these are our sponsors. So if you're a demolition company, dirt work company, asphalt company, and you can get your logo on one of those signs, again, 9 times out of 10, your competitors are not doing this. So if you can be a trusted name, you can get customers that way also. So here's another one, Spokane Hoop Fest Association. Get involved, become a sponsor. So again, you're going to pay anywhere between, sometimes it's $100 all the way up to $500, $700. Well worth it if your heat map is looking like this. It's well worth it to get a local sponsorship. And then finally, here's another one. So Coeur d'Alene Crossing. It's just a local, like Ironman, I think it is, in Coeur d'Alene. So if we come to sponsors, so again, these are all the sponsors. And the cool thing is that to be a bronze sponsor is going to be the exact same thing as a silver sponsor. All we are looking for whenever we're trying to get a backlink or get a sponsorship is that they put our website link on their website. That's the only thing we care about. So this is a silver sponsor, and like these guys here, CrossFit Coeur d'Alene, so their website comes up down here at the bottom. Same as this JTC Demolition, their website comes up here at the bottom. That's all we're looking for, is a link on their website that links back to our website. So again, if you're in a small town with almost no competition, you might not need many of these backlinks. Like you can just stick to the Chamber of Commerce, and that one link alone will be the difference maker and get you ranked in the top 3 map pack. But if you're in a competitive market, backlinks are not optional. It's literally the only way that you can prove to Google that you're a trusted local business. So the businesses at the top, they earn their position, whether they realized it or not. Especially if you're a newer business. Like sometimes there are businesses that are ranking and they don't have any backlinks. And so customers will come to us and be like, hey, how come these guys are ranking? I checked their backlinks. They've got 2 backlinks. Both of them are from spam websites. And a lot of the times that's because that website has been live for 20 years. And because it's been live for 20 years, that's something that can't be faked in Google's eyes, right? If you create a website right now, you can't fake 20 years of being a live URL. So because you're either a newer business or you just haven't had a website for very long, so we have to expedite the process because we don't have the luxury of being around for 20 years. So in order to jumpstart that trust in Google's eyes, it's getting backlinks from different local websites. All right, so now you understand why backlinks matter for local SEO. And like I promised, instead of spending hours searching online, I'm gonna make this easy for you. So I put together a free ChatGPT prompt that you can drop your city and service into, and it will instantly generate a list of local chambers, local news, local community sponsorships, and other high quality local backlinks opportunities. So no guessing, no manual work like we just went through. It will be completely done for you. So I'm gonna run you through it really quick. So there's a link below, click that link. You'll just have to enter in your name and email, and then you will get access to this Google Doc. And what you're gonna do is you're literally gonna copy all this here. And all you're gonna do is switch the highlighted areas. So your city and state, and then whatever niche you are. So if you're a demolition business or an excavation business or land clearing or septic, you're gonna put that into here. And then it's going to do the rest. So we're gonna look up local organizations and communities, events and sponsorships. And then what it's going to spit out is going to be this. So it's gonna give you a complete list of local organizations and community events. It'll give you the actual link, events and sponsorships, local media outlets in your area, education institutions, and government pages. These are probably gonna be harder to get into, but if you can get into a local community college that maybe has a sponsorship, another huge opportunity. And then business directories. So, you know, BBB, National Demolition Association, I'm sure you're probably already a part of that, but if you're not, Angie List, and then it'll give you a priority summary. So the cost. So super easy. If we click on one, let's go to like this one here. So it'll take you to the actual Chamber of Commerce. I think we put in Spokane Valley. So once you get to the website, you come here, become a member, and then you can go through the process of actually getting a link. And as always, if you want our team to help you get your Google business profile ranking higher in Google Maps, click the other link in the description below. You'll answer a few questions about you and the business, and at the very end, you'll be able to schedule a call with me. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. You take care.